The small Fuji XM5 is frustrating to use, but boy can it take amazing pictures and video. All right, this is my annual trip to see my mom in Kentucky. Do not come to Kentucky in April or May unless you like thunderstorms and tornadoes. It is not good video weather. It's pretty depressing. It's wet. It's gloomy. But I'm making this video anyway because this is my chance to make a video. Today we're going to review a Fuji camera. People keep saying, Marcus, when are you going to try Fuji? You got to try Fuji. It's the best color science in the world. It's better than Canon and all that. They're right. It is the best color. I'm shooting with one right now. I'm shooting with a brand new Fuji XM5. It's the smallest compact APS-C camera you can get that is new and has all the features. It's really nice. The size is kind of between a Lumix GM5 and a Sony 6300. And you know me, I like to travel light. So, how do I like it? And I'm going to compare it with the Lumix G100. I'm also going to compare it with my favorite little Lumix GX850, which they don't make anymore, but it has a screen that flips up, which I love. It's micro four thirds, but it's got a similar experience. And we're also going to compare it with my favorite little Sony 5100, which is, what, 10 years older than this camera? The APS-C, I think is just as good. So we're going to compare it with those four cameras. I'm going to tell you what I like and don't like, and I hope you're going to get a nice, enjoyable trip out of this. We're going to go take my mom to eat out, and then we're going to go get her some groceries, and we're going to take pictures and video along the way. So let's compare. Here we go. I'm going to be using a Sigma 23mm 1.4 on the XM5, and we're going to be using the same lens, Sigma 23 on the Sony 5100, and we're going to be using a 25mm 1.4 on the G100 and the GX850. Here we go. Here's the XM5. The Sony 5100, those two are the APS-C cameras, and here are the micro four thirds cameras, the Lumix G100 and the Lumix GX850. All right, this is the XM5 with the little compact plastic 27 2.8. It's a great little all-purpose street photography lens. It's not the sharpest, but it's good to have around. And this is the Sigma 23 1.4. It's bigger and heavier, but obviously it's sharper and the quality's better. All right, so this is the Fuji XM5, and here's the Sony 5100. Same lens, Sigma 23 1.4. I think the image quality is very comparable because it is APS-C. And remember, this camera is 10 years older than the XM5. This is the G100 with a 25 1.4, and here's the GX850. The colors aren't spectacular, but it's such a fun little camera to use. Okay, these are just street photography shots. Let's do a real photo shoot. Let's set up some lights in a forest clearing here and do a real photo shoot here. Let's start off with the Fuji XM5. Really nice. Look at that. Look how beautiful that looks. Fuji really likes greens. It makes them almost fluorescent. If you're doing stuff with a forest or grass or trees, Fuji really makes the greens pop. The Fuji does like to lean a little towards blue, so I had to color correct it a little towards the orange. All right, here's the 5100. Look at that. Pretty darn good. I love this little camera. It's smaller, lighter, and I like how the screen flips up. Here's the Lumix G100. This one also likes to lean towards the blues, so I had to warm up the white balance towards the orange more. And here's the little GX850. Not bad. Let's go back and forth. Here's the Fuji XM5 again with its fluorescent greens and creamy, smooth look. And here's the little Sony 5100. Here's the XM5. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at those greens. Here's the 5100. Looks great. And here's the Fuji XM5. Also looks great. And here's the GX850. Again, the colors aren't as rich, the dynamic range is as much, but it looks nice. And one last picture of the 5100. I can't stop. All right, let's do some video here. Here's the Sony 5100. Look at that. It looks 3D. And here's the Fuji. I don't know, the skin tones look a little greenish to me. The reds aren't really coming out as much. And the exposure keeps changing a little bit, and it's having some issues with the focus. All right, here's the 5100 again. The skin tones look more like skin tones. The reds are coming out a little better in the 5100. So it's like the 5100 is better with the reds and yellows, and the Fuji seems to be better with the greens and blues. The whole picture looks a little greenish to me. Here's the 5100. For something that's over 10 years old, that's pretty darn good. Here's the Fuji again. Yeah, it's definitely lacking in the reds, but really nice 3D effect. Here's the 5100. I'm just going back and forth so you can see the difference. They're nice, but are the famous Fuji colors really worth the $800? All right, now check this out. I've got the stabilization on the Fuji, and look at this weird warping effect. It's just bizarre. It's like, oh, man, it's like I'm on drugs or something. Let's turn the stabilization off, Now it's better. It's much better with this. So even though it has stabilization, I don't know, it's kind of funky in certain situations. But the 3D effect is just amazing. It takes great pictures, but there's the delay from taking the picture to when you actually see the picture. It takes a long time to process each picture, so that's kind of frustrating. But the pictures are nice. Some of them are out of focus, like this one. But the ones that do turn out look really, really good. Really nice. It just has this nice 3D effect. And the colors can be beautiful. And under normal situations, even on automatic, the skin tones look really good. Everything can look really good. Fuji colors are great. Skin tones are great. Everything looks great. 3D effect looks great. And this is with the little plastic compact 27mm 2.8. All of these are done with that lens. It's a great little compact, lightweight street photography lens. I'm just using the standard setting with DR100. I have the tone curve set at H-1 and S-1. Skin smoothing / portrait enhanced setting is set to weak, which is the lowest setting. And I have my zebra set to 75 for white paper. All right, so let's get into what I like and don't like about this camera. For obviously, the size is really nice size. It doesn't have a viewfinder, which sucks. I hate that. I mean, why can't it put a little rangefinder viewfinder like the Sony A7C has, or the 6300? That's an APS-C about the same size, and it has a viewfinder. It has this knob on there with all kinds of different video settings. I don't use any of those. It's a waste of space. Take that knob off and put a viewfinder in there, and don't put that big giant metal pyramid on top. That makes it not a compact camera anymore. That's why I hate Olympus and Fuji. That is not a compact camera anymore. And I also don't like how the screen flips out to the side, which also the G100 does. I like the cameras where the screen flips up, like the 5100 and the GX850. I love that so much. When you're doing street photography, you're just walking around and you're just holding the camera down here inconspicuously. You can just flip it up a bit, look down, and take pictures. If you have the thing flipped out to the side, it's obvious you're taking pictures of people. It makes it more conspicuous. And it also is in the way of your hand. Flipping up, I think, is the best. The picture and video taking brains in this camera are completely different. They don't talk to each other. So whatever, let's say you set up this, you're taking pictures, it looks great, and you got the settings just right, and then you want to take a video real quick of whatever it is you're doing, and then you push record, the red button, the thing goes dark. It goes super dark, and the exposure gets horribly different because the video settings do not talk to the picture settings, and it just does what it wants when it's in video. I hate that. And even when you're in manual, it even has a vlog setting on top. You push record and the picture goes dark. It changes. It does what it wants. It overrides your manual. Even when you're in manual, it overrides it. For some reason, it's just so frustrating. And when you're in video, the 4K crops in a lot. Speaking of 4K, if you're going to do video, only shoot 4K. The 1080 is not that great on this camera. The 1080 is great on the G100 and the 5100. You don't even need to do 4K in those. This one, you do. But it looks good. We're shooting in 4K right now, 4K 60. It looks great. I mean, when it does something really good, it does it awesomely. But it doesn't do things awesomely all the time. When you're taking pictures, first of all, it's a really slow picture taking camera. You push click, and then the screen goes black and it says processing. And then a minute later, you see the picture. You know, that's not a photo session camera where you go click, 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 you know, where you have somebody posing really quickly. This thing, you take a picture, you got to wait for it to process. Part of the reason for the processing, I think, is because it does skin smoothing really well. That's really good. The colors look great and all that. I mean, you get a great picture sometimes, but it's not a picture. It takes good pictures, but it's not a great picture-taking experience camera. As far as the focusing is not that great on the camera either. This is the newest technology. I can see a square on my eye right now. It's got the square. It's following me, but it's still searching. It's still like zoom, like focus breathing and going in and out and stuff. And it does not lock on to your face. I mean, look how big I am in the picture, in the frame, and it's still kind of searching around. It's not very reliable to just stay locked onto your face. The Sony, that's nothing beats the Sony. I mean, the minute it finds a face, it just locks on it no matter what you do. When I was taking pictures, half the pictures were out of focus. It wasn't focusing very well. And yes, I was also using Fuji lenses like this one. This is a really good one. It's the 56 1.2. It's not because of the lens, it's because of the camera. It's got a sluggish brain. It can't process very quickly for some reason. But anyway, and not only that, some of the pictures are out of focus because it overrides your settings for shutter speed and sometimes decides that maybe a slower shutter speed is what should be used. And of course, slow shutter speeds result in blurry pictures, and this thing overrides your settings when it wants to, and you get blurry pictures because of slow shutter speed, which sucks. And another thing that's not that easy to change on here is the white balance. I mean, on Lumix, it actually has a white balance button on the back, and Sony does too. So you can just push it and you instantly change the white balance within a second. Like it's so fast to change the white and get correct white balance with Sony and Lumix. On here, it has the best skin smoothing of these 4 cameras. Really nice skin smoothing. I'm using it on low, on weak right now. So this is weak skin smoothing, and it looks good, right? I mean, I like it. I think it looks great. As far as fun, it's not the most fun camera to use. I think the most fun camera of this bunch is the 5100. It is the most fun to hold in your hand. And then the GX850, I think that one's the second most fun, not just for the tiny size and weight and ease of use, but the flip up screen. I love the flip up screen of these 2 cameras. I hate the flip out screen of the XM5 and the G100 and every other vlogging camera out there. Anyway, so yeah, so there you go. What else? Now, I said a lot of things I don't like about this camera, but one thing this camera does really good, which almost makes up for everything else, is how great the skin tones look and the colors. It's so deliciously, like seductively beautiful and smooth and creamy. The colors are just so amazing, so much better than Canon and every other thing out there. Nothing beats Fuji colors. I agree with what everybody said. And for that reason, I'm not going to give this camera away. I'm going to keep it. If you dial it in just right, you're going to get amazing stuff. But at the cost of possibly screwing up half your pictures, of being out of focus or not, just something not being right because you push record and the screen goes dark and it does what it wants. It overrides your settings a lot. But once you do get it dialed in, and if it does get it right, it does it amazingly. It's like a one-trick pony. It does its trick really well. So, really good for look and color and everything. Once you get it right, if you're willing to take that chance, okay. But for me, I still like my little 5100 from Sony so much more. Even though that thing is 10 years older than this camera, I like the GX850 because it's just so small and fun. The G100 I like because it has a viewfinder, and when you push it and you put it in auto and push record, it adjusts for your face, and it's just, you just trust it. It works great. This camera, the thing I don't like about it is like when it does adjust it does its own adjusting. It adjusts based on the whole scene, not your face. The G100, you put it in automatic and you push record, it adjusts for your face. Whatever your exposure for your face is, it adjusts based on that. And it doesn't care what the rest of the image is. This camera seems to care more what the whole image is and then adjusts for that rather than your face. So your face is sometimes overexposed or underexposed. You can't really rely on this camera for giving you a great exposure for your face. So that's kind of, and I know, yeah, you can set the exposure square where you want it to be, but it doesn't give you as trustworthy of an exposure for your face as the G100. Anyway, so there you go. There's my report on the Fuji XM5. Okay, it's a little camera, $800. It's okay. It's good. It's got great colors. If you like the look, I love the look. Just like you guys, I love the look, but it's so frustrating to use. Not a fun camera to use, but it's small. No viewfinder. Whatever. Anyway, so it's good. I'm not going to give it away. I'm going to keep it because I like the look. Okay, so that's my thing. I hope you got something out of this. So I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye.